For me personally, it comes down to a couple of things. Firstly, it's how much am I willing to risk of my account on any one individual trade. And so that's usually a maximum of let's say 1%. So that would certainly be my advice to most traders out there. And then secondly, it's how much I'm willing to risk versus how much I want to make on the trade. So if I'm willing to risk £200, usually I want to be making at least £200, if not £400 on a trade. That's my style. And then accompanied with that is my success rate, my win rate. So I know that if I'm risking £200 to make £400, I know that if I can afford to be right only 50% of the time, and yet I'm still making money. So risk to me comes across those three facets. First and foremost, never risk too much on a trade. If you do that and you get yourself overexposed, then it's a long way to claw it back. And it doesn't matter about having how much money you can make on a potential trade. Think about how much you can lose, because too many traders focus on how much can I make as opposed to managing the risk.
Like Charlie said, I have certain risk parameters that I tend to stick to. The operative word here is I attempt to stick to it, because I don't do it all the time. I trade for a retail trader, I trade very big size, and I do believe that is the Achilles heel of my trading, is that I do have a very good feel for the market. I have a very good feel for where the market is going to go. But let's focus on when I'm wrong. When I'm wrong, I do tend to lose a lot more than I should had I have a more rigid approach to risk. So, but in the same vein, I'd have to say that some of my biggest trades have also been where I had a conviction, and I was prepared to back up that conviction with my money. I think if I traded smaller size, I would most likely also have a much stricter risk approach. The problem is that at times I find myself in situations where I'm losing so much that I'm struggling to actually take the loss. I mean, I'm bearing myself here. So my risk approach, I think, would be my weakest. The paradox is that I also run a live trading room, and in there I am Mr. Discipline. It is absolute risk defined at all times.
In a nutshell, my trading style comes from, first of all, my market analysis, so a top-down approach. First of all, try and get the overall market direction right, and then I look to hop in on the trend of the overall market direction using execution techniques. So execution techniques are your strategies. So top approach is just the overall direction, reading the market, reading basics of technical analysis, highs, lows, support, resistance, and then it's a case of using my strategies in order to then hop in hopefully at the right moment on a risk-adjusted basis within that trend, so hopefully I can capture some element of that.
My approach can be summed up in a few words. I attempt to fade the short-term trend in the direction of the long-term trend. So by that I mean is, I know what the longer-term trend is, and so when I get moves against that trend, I fade it. I mean, I'm going against it. And that's what I was also attempting to do today. But today what I attempted to do was to do it on a much shorter time frame than I would normally do. My favorite chart is the hourly chart and the 15-minute chart. I find that if I can define a trend on the hourly chart, and then I can fade on a 15-minute chart, then I'm happy as a pig in shit, and that's how I make my money.
Yeah, the key message I'd say to most traders, hopefully that's going to come across today from my element of our trade-off, is trade within your comfort zone. Trade what's right for you. I hate to say it, you and your personality, because that's such a cliche and everyone uses that in the trading. But certainly trade to your own comfort level. What one person's comfort level is may be something completely different for another. One person's style may be completely different to another. So, and it's very difficult to say because a lot of people don't know what their style is going to be. especially when they're new, they don't know what the right style is, and that's their own journey and their path to walk. But if you can trade comfortably without fear, then you've got it cracked.
I think today, for me, if anything, was just showing people that there's many ways that you can make money in the market and many ways to lose in the market. And I think when I started, all of this wasn't available. You had to guess. You bought a book and you were a breakout trader, only to find out that 9 out of 10 breakouts failed. And actually, I think those people who were attending today, I think they really enjoyed to see two people up on the stage doing what they love to do. Interesting jobs, but different approaches.
And there will be a rematch.
Absolutely.
I made 285 in that hour and a half, £285.
And there's a little more to mine. When the bell rang, so to speak, I was up 250 in closed profits, but I was losing about £600-700. The sad bit about it was that I left those positions open and I've just closed them for about £1,200-1,300 profit. But fair is fair, and you got to stick to the rules.